Welcome to Minecraft 1.3.2. So, just to recap a little bit, we died a lot, and our villagers we initially had at a village couldn't go through the nether, so we couldn't bring them here. But, in this update, we can now trade with villagers. So, first things first, we're going to go see if we can do that. We also don't have any emeralds, but I'm willing to bet we could gamble a little bit with some ores. Yes, I'm bringing... we don't need to bring all of the diamonds, but we can bring some. One thing that is moderately concerning is that the villagers we have didn't have professions because they were so old. So if they don't have professions, then we're probably going to need to find a new village, which is okay because in this update there are now desert villages, as well as jungle temples and desert temples, which we should go find. If we do find them, hopefully they'll have a blacksmith, and if they do, they will have a chest. So a lot of new features regarding villages in this update. So if our villagers don't have professions, we'll just go to the new villages somewhere else. Now that sounds kind of disappointing. You're like, well, it kind of takes a little bit of time to do that. Well, also, boat speed in this update is much quicker, so we're going to be able to get around a little faster than normal. So hopefully we get trades. If not, also we're going to test to see if our villagers can go through the nether again, just to be sure, and then we'll have our answer. Okay, so here's our friends. You need to be in a minecart. You're bad. That's number 4. I decided he doesn't get a name. We're just going to call him number 4. Oh, all of them aren't in minecarts. Sir. Oh. Well, anyway. And? Oh, I thought he went through. He teleported out of the minecart. I thought he went through. So they don't have professions, obviously. I'm going to give him a cooldown to see if he won't go through after waiting a little bit. Nope. So, not what we wanted there. Okay, so looks like we're going to a new village, which is okay. Or, actually, we never really checked our own village here. So given that those guys are away from their houses, they may not be assigned to them, which means more villagers could breed, and new villagers means updated villagers. So hopefully, there's some new villagers that have a profession. Hey, friends. Oh, you do trade. Oh, I just never saw the skin. Okay, cool. So, raw chicken for an emerald. I guess I never right-clicked on those guys. I'm sure they have trades as well. So, 1 emerald, that's... I don't want to call that a scam, but, I'm not feeling happy. Let's invade their home. So, trades aren't crazy. But I think it's because they don't have a profession. So, they have kind of basic trades. So we're not really getting crazy stuff, which still means a new village is going to be worth our while. Also, the golden apple changed last update, so we have the B tier golden apple and not the A tier fire resistance, the Mega Million Scratcher, nuclear bomb of a fruit. So, too bad there. Also, one thing to note here is that the max level for enchanting is now 30, and enchantments at level 30 are more rewarding. So hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to get a sort of fortune or looting on a pickaxe or a sword. Okay, why is my game loading like this? Not sure what's going on there. Well, last time we generated new chunks over here because we were trying to find a cat, which we did. So I believe this is still kind of new terrain once we go past this jungle, and then hopefully we can find a desert village, or maybe or even a jungle temple. Now I'm not sure that spawned. I think we've generated the entire jungle here, so I don't think a jungle temple is going to spawn. Another huge feature is an ender chest, which is pretty great, and obviously emeralds, because we need that to trade. Also a book and quill, which is something I've been waiting for personally, because for me, I like to keep my coordinates in a book of places I've been. It's really easy to write it down. And we also have chat in the game, so what's the first thing I'm going to say? There you go. So why we want to trade with villagers in the first place is because we want to be able to buy diamond armor that's enchanted or diamond tools that are enchanted off of them, because grinding levels is not very fun, and a lot of these episodes are directed more about what new features in the game, and I really don't want to sit there grinding XP when there's probably like 10 other things I could be doing that are related to the new update. So I try not to do the monotonous tasks that could be easily done off camera because they don't really provide much value. I will say the amount of XP we're getting from cows seems a little bit higher. If you can see, just even like one orb, it seems to be doing more. Yeah, that was quite a lot. I don't believe he dropped. No, he did. Who knows? It might be placebo. So now we're going to get in a boat. And I believe it's quicker now. That seems to be almost a little bit faster than a minecart. Although I think minecart speed was changed to where you could kind of accelerate it a little bit on your own. But yeah, it's basically the same. So hopefully we reach new chunks by the time we get to, I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe 5,000 blocks? I don't know. It seems like new chunks based on the way it's loading. But it also looks very familiar. But if it's not, that's really good news, because hopefully there's a jungle temple. I believe this is new chunk. Yep, this is new. So, what's different about this is, also we get our boats back when we mine it, but what's different about this is that cocoa beans actually spawn in here now. So we can just kind of pick those up if we want. We don't really need them, we already have some. So if we wanted to make a farm, we can do that. Only thing I'm really looking out for here is there a jungle temple or not? Other than that, we pretty much did everything we could jungle-wise last episode, so I don't think there's any point in really hanging around here too long. Okay, so no jungle temple, very small jungle. What I will be doing is going to the left here, because this seems like a plains biome, and we know it's new chunks because there's, unlimited animals. Okay, let's keep trekking forward here. This island over here was relatively cool. I didn't really look at it for too long, but had a kind of nice shape to it. Of course, there's a cowpocalypse. Nice. Okay, huge terrain here. Hello. Oh, it's a regular iron sword. I thought it was enchanted. Dang. I thought that zombie dropped us an enchanted sword. Well, that's alright. Okay, now that we found another jungle, let's just see if there's a jungle temple. Because this one looks a lot bigger. Not seeing a jungle temple here. Also, we have to be careful because I could easily die, and that would be really sad. Okay, I don't believe there's a jungle temple. I've looked for quite a bit. If there is one, it's probably hidden quite well. I don't want to linger for too long because we need to get to our village, so. It's been, I think, over 3,000 blocks traveled. And this is the first piece of land I have seen. Besides that, just now. But that that pitiful speck has been my only hope. It's been, I think, 5,000 blocks past that point, right before. And this is the actual only piece of land that I've seen, which is interesting because it is a mushroom biome. Which is kind of cool. Hello. Okay, so I've traveled, what are we at, Z 14,000, negative 2,861. So basically I've traveled like another 7,000 blocks and no islands. So I kind of went back a little bit, still really far away, and found another jungle here. So I'm not joking, by the way, that I think the ocean is literally more than 10,000 blocks, like, left and right. Like, it's the area, or like the each side, if it was a cube or a square, each side would be 10,000 blocks. So, or more. Honestly, I don't even know. As horrible as that is, and time wasting and soul sucking it is, it's still useful to us. Because if you remember, our mob grinder was not very good because there was too many mobs below it or in the area around it where we tried to mob proof it through lighting. If we wanted to build one out here, we could, you know, have multiple stacks of it. What I mean by that is have multiple sort of chambers where they spawn, and sort of kind of double up on it and make a very large mob grinder, and things like that. Other farms related to that in the future, but it's still pretty useless for the most part. I mean, it's just ocean, so seems like I'm finding land now, but I haven't seen land like this in forever. So I'm not sure if I've actually been here or not, but it looks familiar, so I'm not sure. One thing we will have to do is probably go on the nether roof to travel back easily. I know I said I didn't want to mess with it, but we're not really. We're just going to go through it and then find our portal at 0, and then be back home because we're too many blocks away at this point. Once I crossed a threshold of like 6 or 7,000, I was like, all right, we're already way too deep. Let's just keep going. And there's one of the new wells, which was in the last update. Is just naturally spawning. Okay, so there's a jungle, or sorry, a desert temple. Just gonna take care of these guys from a distance. Okay. Okay, good. It didn't activate it. 3 diamonds. So, good start. Some more gold, some more iron. Take the gold. An emerald. Hey, there we go. First emerald. So, also, what I'm going to do is take this TNT. Because God knows it is difficult to craft a lot of TNT. Cool, so that was our first temple. So, after an eon, we have found a village with a blacksmith. So we're about 11,600 blocks and negative 3,485. So I wasted a ton of time in the ocean. I think the ocean was at least 10,000 by 10,000. So here we go. So they have professions. So 5 emeralds for an iron helmet. Ooh. Not bad, actually. 3 emeralds. That's not bad. 3 for a bookshelf. What about you? Hello, friend. 14 books for now. Now that's a scam. Unfortunately, there's only one blacksmith type, I believe. Bane of arthropods and knockback. Not really what I'm looking for. Let's go mine those books. Who's that? Who's in here, man? Okay. 2 emeralds. Let's see what kind of bargains we can get. 18 wheat for an emerald. Now that we can do. Okay, 18 wheat. That's our 3rd emerald. So the question is, do we keep trying to get emeralds in order to get not this guy's trade, but the blacksmith, I believe, because I'm pretty sure he'll get more trades after we keep trading with him. I know that's the normal function regardless, but I just wasn't sure how it worked because in this update there's not really any indicator whether they have new trades or different trades. Since we traded with that guy, he now has 2 trades. I think we're gonna get 2 from him. There's our blacksmith. Okay, so we can invest 5, but I think the next trade he's gonna have is a chest plate or something like that. Actually, we do need a new helmet. This might be beneficial, even though yes, it seems inconvenient to get so much wheat. skeletons are about to spawn, so I think we'll be okay. We can just go get some more bones and then bone meal a whole bunch. Oh. We have a... That is very loud. A zombie raid. Siege, I think. So that's 19 wheat again. Just picked up some here. Gonna go trade that. And we kind of want to try to find the same people we've been trading with. I think it's this guy. You know what? I'm gonna mark his house. Like that? I don't even know. He now has a new trade. Wow, 1 emerald for 7 apples. We would have needed that the other episode, but too bad they changed the crafting recipe. So now we can't craft golden apples with nuggets, at least the good ones. I guess they weren't actually good, because the ones we have are the ones we crafted with nuggets, and they're the bad ones. So I don't know if we had a choice. Okay, let's trade this guy with this guy again. That's 3 emeralds. We're up to 5 again. Hopefully we can get him to keep going. Ideally we'd want to trade in iron ingots or something like that, or maybe coal. So now he's selling boots, which I think we're going to want to buy. And then I believe we get a diamond chest plate after this, if I'm not wrong. So I think the trades in this version don't continue past these 2 trades. So I think in a future update we'll be able to get that diamond armor. I could never really find a specified answer for what version had the diamond armor trade, but it is good to know that there's a village here, and it will be easy to get back because we can just go on the roof. Okay, so the plan is to make a portal back home. So we're probably going to go up to the roof as well, and then just walk over to our spot where we have our portal going back home, and then we should be good. Flint and steel. We're going to have to remember where we are. So negative 421, 1448. Well, that was stupid. That is not good. Dang, we were level 25. Dang. Okay. And finally. Probably about an eon later. I basically just like looked around and then right clicked, but I think we were like below this, like we didn't go high enough, so we're just kind of stuck. But this time we didn't suffocate, so I gotta really get good at that. This is like not good. I placed a crafting table, no idea where it is. Only thing we gotta do now is make a post, and then we just go in the 0, 0 direction. Okay. And I think this takes us back. I think the trouble with that portal is that once you go back through it, once you go back through it, it just takes you to the nether portal in the nether, like on the regular level, not the roof. So, not really sure how that works. We are level 25. So, that means we can probably enchant. And I'm thinking I'm not going to enchant a pickaxe because we already have 2 pickaxes that are good that we can just mend together, which is efficiency 5 and arm breaking 3, which I shouldn't even be carrying around in the first place, honestly. I should just be running a blank diamond pickaxe. Should I get level 30 and then enchant? Or I think I'm just going to grind out to 30 really quick because it won't take very long. With our mob grinder, and then we'll go enchant. Oh, also, our book and quill. So now we can write a coordinates page. We'll leave a couple pages dedicated to that. just before I get level 30, let's make a jukebox really quick, because now we have a disc. Oh, I did not mean to make a chest. So since we have a disc, we can now, I guess we can just throw this down somewhere. Actually, let's put it by the mob spawner, just because I think it'd make it a little bit more bearable to be there and wait a long time. Okay, level 30. Also, I gotta say this farm is much quicker now. That was only a few minutes to get from like 25 or 26 to 30. Not even. So that's pretty good. The thing I'm dreading is like, what if I get knocked back too? You know, like if I get knocked back too when I could have got like fortune and had like the perfect pickaxe, it's like, oh man, you know. But I think we're gonna send it. You know what? That's not that bad. I like the fire aspect. Smite's okay. Knockback, not really. But I was hoping for looting and sharpness. Or looting, you know, fire aspect, one of those. Or maybe an unbreaking. But I think that works fairly okay. So yeah. Okay. So I got level 30 again. And it didn't take too long. I would not have done that if it wasn't worth the time, because our mob spawner is like way more effective now all of a sudden. I think you get more XP per zombie now, or per each orb is worth more now, I believe, something like that. Either way, we got way more XP way quicker. I think we had around 16. I had 16 zombies stacked up at the end, or in the beginning. And we went from level 1 to 8 in that time, and that was like only a couple minutes, so it didn't take too long to get to level 30, which is nice. So I figured it's still a tough dilemma. I think I want to do a sword or a pickaxe, but it's like I just want looting, but fortune also exists, so I think we're going to go with the pickaxe, and hopefully... Actually, Silk Touch would also be nice as well. Not bad. Again, it's not going to be as good as our combo here. So that means we can probably just use this for now. And then we don't really have to worry about our other pickaxe breaking and making a new one. We can craft these two together later. So that's fine. I think what I want to do now, since we have still some more features we haven't covered, we are going to need a little bit more obsidian, because a ender chest is in the game now. So I'm just going to head down to our mine, go grab some obsidian, and then come back. Okay, so we got 27, which should be enough for 2 here, because we're going to want one here in our base, and then one on us we can carry. Only problem is we need Silk Touch for it to not break into obsidian pieces and the eye, so we're probably gonna need Silk Touch before we run around with an ender chest. But for now, I think we're just gonna put this down somewhere. Honestly, I'd just put it like right here in the ground where all these other things are. Place our thing right there. This is obviously not the best setup, but it's okay for now. And then we'll make another one. Leave that in there. Keep the obsidian, you never know. We do tend to build a lot of portals, so. Okay, so I believe we can breed villagers, but the way to do it is very odd. We're gonna need some wood. Actually, let's just take all 37. So basically you need, this sounds weird, but you need a oak, I think oak, house, but it has to have a roof and a floor made out of wood, and then as long as it has a door, something like that, then you're good. Not really sure how that works, but apparently it sort of detects that as a house. So once a villager is technically inside of a house that's been qualified to be a house, I think then they breed I think it'd be cool to get a lot kind of stacked up, because then that way we can use that as an infinite breeder, or try to get like an entire village's worth of just like houses and stuff like that. In a way, we'd kind of just be making our own village. But I would just want to have like enough in reserve to use later on, because when we're able to get them through the nether, I think that will be really useful. And it also really helps because that way when they breed, we can kind of choose which profession they get. So if they keep breeding and we get a profession we don't like, or we do like it, and we just don't like the trade, we can just kill them and then keep breeding. It's pretty dystopian, but it's just business, bro. Cool. And I believe now... Oh, right, I can just push this guy through there. So some of them are still in minecarts. I forgot about that, which is convenient. Come on. You can do it. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, there you go. Okay, so they know that's a house. Cool. Commence, please. Please commence. So everyone's... Okay. Cool, I guess. I don't really know how this works. So I don't assume they just immediately start breeding or something. I don't know if you have to do something. Okay, so I'm over by our village here, because I was originally going to see if any of these guys bred, but look at this trade. 8 cooked chicken for an emerald. That is just amazing. That is a really good trade. I think I'm going to build another one of those homes. All 4 of those people are in one house, so I'm not really sure how that works out. So I'm going to try to make another one for 2 of them. I looked up a way to do it. So basically you have to build a 4x4 wall, which should work at the bare minimum, so hopefully that works. The area we have around the houses, or where they will be, is well lit enough where they can kind of wander and it doesn't matter. Since they're kind of linked to their houses, they're not really going to go anywhere. Now hopefully, will you guys assimilate in this new home? Okay, so each of the villagers, so 2 villagers are in each house now. Basically what I had to do is break the door, because then this won't be detected as a house. 2 of them left and went here. No baby. Not sure when that's supposed to occur. Also, hello. Oh my god. I just walked over here, just past this, and there's a whole nother village. What? What? How did I not see this? This is well, it is a small village. Dude, that's wild. Okay, so only one of them has a profession. Right now, the villagers we have just aren't breeding. No idea why. I have a feeling that maybe they're not breeding because they don't have a profession. But I feel like that shouldn't matter, because the profession, the chance of a villager having a profession when being born is completely random for which profession they'll have. And technically the brown robed ones are a profession. The problem is, because they do have trades, so it's like no villagers being bred, which is really odd. But that's crazy that we had 2 villages right here. I didn't even know this one was to the left, just right over there. How did I not see that? Okay, well, considering we were gonna breed more and it's not working, I think this village kind of solved the problem for us. I think I would like to make a breeder back home when we can transport them, because right now we can't even breed it correctly, which you should be able to. I know you can, and the way we're doing it is correct. So not really sure what's going on. So I think these are new chunks over here, which makes me curious. If this is new, I think it's new. Is this a beach or desert? Desert. Okay. I think we never went over here I believe cocoa beans are on this, so I think this is new. Here is even more, and it's so powerful it's going through a taiga biome. Cool. Something that's really interesting is that, like, every time I need to like look something up, it's always like some video from like 13 years ago on how to like build a certain thing. Like I was looking up that villager breeder, which is just a house, and some of those videos, it was just super old. It's really funny, like the level of quality you see in like a video and how many views it had like 12 years ago. Like people would just like upload a video of just making noise pretty much, and like everyone would watch it. So again, still no jungle temple, so I think we're gonna call it if I can't see anything here. Okay, so no jungle temple. We're gonna call it there, head back. Okay, so villagers aren't breeding, and since for some reason it's not working as well as we wanted it to, I figured I would just head back. Okay, I think I'm going to try and enchant some armor, which is going to take some time. So I'm probably just going to cut to when I get to like level 30 for each piece of armor, which is kind of a while. But I figured there's not too much to do in this one, and for some reason the game just doesn't want to cooperate with villager breeding, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. But I also would like to get something done if there's more time to get it done in terms of those monotonous things. I said I didn't want to enchant, but the problem is there's like not much to do, and each episode revolves around the features in every update. Problem is, in this one, most of the changes are only due to trading. Other than that, there's pretty much nothing that's changed too much, at least in terms of additions to the game. There's been slight changes to certain mechanics, but those aren't really relevant. Pressure plates being triggered by arrows is not exactly our favorite thing and that we're looking out for. But I would say the desert pyramid and the jungle temples were. I don't think we found a desert village, which is unfortunate. So I think to kind of just like give some extra spice at the end of this, I think I will be just grinding some XP and getting some diamond armor, because honestly we've got too many diamonds and we've been sitting around with them for too long. I've been just waiting to use them, so that's what we're gonna do. Okie doke. So diamonds, what do we want to do with them? For our armor piece, first one, let's do chestplate. Just see what happens. Okay, whatever. I'm really hoping for something that is like unbreaking, because even though, yeah, other enchantments are cool, getting unbreaking is probably the most useful to us, because like remember, we don't have mending, like we can't just repair this stuff really easily, and the armor by itself is gonna be way better than iron, so I'm not really too worried about that. Also in the next update, which is a very big update by the way, is the Halloween update, the very scary update, or what is it called? Pretty scary update. That one introduces the Wither, which we are going to beat, hopefully. Basically, we're going to fight him probably pretty quickly, but we're also going to have to get Wither skulls. So, what's really nice is, what I realize now is I was kind of disappointed with the sword. It's actually an advantage. Getting the Smite 4 on this is actually huge. Not to mention all the nether warts we have, combined with the blaze powder to make some strength 2 potions. We're gonna smoke them. That's also why I'm making the armor now and not later, like I said before, because I realize that now having the armor might be kind of nice against the Wither. So we're kind of a glass cannon a little bit. Okay, level 30 again. We're gonna go for a helmet this time. And I'm hoping for like protection 4, respiration 3. I think that'd be the best outcome for us. Wow. 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 That's... wow. Wow. Okay then. Alright. I'm not complaining. So, that means 2 more to go. Alrighty. Round 3. We're going to go for legs, and what I would like to see, honestly, just protection 4 on breaking 3. The usual, you know? Not bad. It's not the worst. And then lastly, we're going to get boots. Okay, round 4. We got boots. Okay, so we want protection 4 feather falling, or protection on breaking 3, like protection 4 on breaking 3. So hopefully I get one of those. I don't want like fire protection or blast protection. It's going to be utterly horrible. Not great. But it's still an upgrade because it's diamond armor. So that is our gear right there. I don't think we're going to equip it right now because we don't really need to, and I don't want to wear it down if we don't have to, because one, none of them have unbreaking. So I would like to not get the durability down already. Given that, this episode's pretty short. I don't think I was able to get too much in, mainly because these episodes revolve around the features of the game, and in this one, there's some minor changes. I think, obviously, it's a little bit slow right now, but from this point on, the jump between updates, there's going to be a lot of changes per update. So the next one is going to be the pretty scary update. So that's going to have the wither, witches, a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to have to do. These videos are supposed to be a lot to do, and sometimes you just have some slow ones, but in the future it's probably going to be a lot faster paced, and there's going to be a lot more stuff to do. So I will see you in 1.4. Ciao.